myself, I don't use it a great deal. I'm very selective who I do talk to. So I'll wait until such time as it's convenient to have a word with you that way, alright? Well, it's a lot easier to do it on the radio, Keith. I don't know why you just don't say it now, whatever it is.
Could you explain how you make your living?
Well, building radio transmitters for unlicensed broadcasting stations.
Do you mean pirate radio stations?
Yeah, some people call them that, yes.
The Department of Trade and Industry say that many illegal transmissions interfere with the emergency services, such as the ambulance and the police. How do you feel about that?
Very angry, because there's plenty of room, and there's going to be even more room. By the end of 1986, the police section of the broadcasting VHF band between 98 and 102.1 megahertz is going to be cleared. And I'm angered to hear that they're going to be allocating all 4 megahertz of that to an IBA national station and BBC Radio 1. And as an engineer, I can say that 4 megahertz isn't required for 2 national networks. You could use half of that, and that would be another 2 megahertz of space that could be used for community radio.
How much does a transmitter cost?
Anything, depending on the technology. If you want a remote transmitter and studio, about £1,000. But for just the average transmitter that you just plug straight into a record deck and microphone, of only about £250.
Could you show us a transmitter that you've made?
This is it, basically. That's all there is to it. Most pirate radio stations lose at least 2 transmitters a week, and it becomes pointless putting them in boxes. There's no technical advantage to putting transmitters in boxes. So basically, as you see it here, is as it is used in practice. That is a complete FM transmitter, including link receiver and power amplifier unit. That's it, basically.
All it basically is a small VHF transmitter which the DJ will take to the phone box with him as a predetermined time. And there's a small induction cord placed on the phone, and you can pick up electromagnetic waves from there and get both sides of the conversation. And we transmit that back to the studio, which is close proximity.
Hello, Storeton Community Radio, you're now on the air.
Yes, hello, Storeton Community Radio. We are back, and we're back to stay. Riders in the Sky by the Shadows. Tune in across your dial, you hear this? You've got SCR.
We operate a 7-day-a-week format, 18 hours a day. We went 24 hours a day, but the DTI swooped on us, so we had to stop that. So it's 18 hours a day at the moment on medium wave and VHF.
I don't really like the DJs on the illegal radio. I find them boring, the chat in between the records. But with SCR it's much better because it's more music, it's more appealing to my generation anyway, I think.
Local bands, for example, who haven't got a cat and hell's chance of making it anywhere else, we play their records. There are 2 bands that have got somewhere through our station playing the records for them. It's just the limitations of commercial and ILR radio, really. We can do what we want, when we want, though we don't. We have the power to do that.
I began as a listener. I used to listen to all the DJs and I used to write into them. And then I went to the nights out and I met them all. And one thing led from another, and John and Andy, the managers, asked me if I'd like to be a female DJ on the station, and there you go. I am now.
We have night outs. We'll organise, for example, on a Monday night when a nightclub isn't open, we'll hire the place and we'll put on a night out for under 18s, which is 13 to 18. And it'll just be a disco for these kids. And the entrance fee and the money taken in soft drinks, a proportion of that goes to pay the nightclub for the use of the premises, and the rest goes to buy equipment and pay fines. We had a one-off gig, as it were, in Tranmere Rovers. We booked the sports hall, which is a huge place, and we put on a fantastic disco. We plugged it as world's biggest disco, and we had 2,000 kids turn up for that. 2,000.
I think this is a great day for the people of the Northwest. Storeton Community Radio is back.
The government are now granting licences to 21 community radio stations around Britain, which is a hopelessly small number of stations, and it's a very small, fry experiment. In a way, I think it's quite a half-baked experiment, and a lot of the ideas haven't really been thought through properly. And a lot of different people are applying for those stations, and they're all now put into a competition mode by the fact that there aren't enough licences to go around. I think it's very much an experiment, as I said before. It's not going to show anything particularly, but what it does do is it opens up the pathways for future developments in this country. So in other words, it's got potential which should be used, and I think the more people who get involved with it and show that they're interested, the better. I think the Home Office and everybody else involved has been very surprised about the fact that I think there's 84 different groups applied for 5 licences in London alone, and so there is a lot of excitement, a lot of interest there.
Well, I personally think it's a whitewash to get shut of all the pirates, because obviously their policy will be, before they start issuing licences, they will go round and rid the airwaves of the pirates, you see. And of course everybody thinks, well, that's a jolly good idea, let's do it, let's be behind the DTI and get these pirates off the air. It's only a whitewash, because this community station, when it does emerge on the Wirral, will be told what to play, when to play. They'll be on 3 days a week or something. It won't be any fun at all. I certainly won't listen to it.
Especially for the Department of Trade and Industry, the Morag surveyors, I spy for the DTI. Rumour has it Leon Britton resigned because SCR was taken off the earth. Is this true? We will find out.
The DTI, who are the people who actually make the raids, have stepped up their services, and they've got sort of squads of people who actually take, the initiative now, and are quite sort of heavy about how they go about it. They also, as a part of a range of different sort of things they've done to pirates, they amended the British Telecom Act and Telecommunications Act to include, to allow them to make arrests, to confiscate equipment, to search premises without warrants, things like that. And the fine was raised massively. So now any sort of pirates do actually have a lot to contend with.
You're told to sit where you are, not to move, demanding your name, form of identification, and just go round, stripping everything. Screwdrivers, air vents off, the kitchen ripped apart, your bedrooms turned upside down, all for the love of this. And some of them take the job really to heart. Some of them really relish the fact that they've made someone's life miserable. And we've asked them this quite. We've asked them, and they just stand there and laugh and say, "We've got you off."